something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. You lie.
Hi peoples, welcome to my channel, Bernie Playing with Makeup. My name is Bernadette. All my friends and subscribers call me Bernie. So if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on that notification bell. That way you will be notified every time I upload new content just like this. Today's video was a bit different. Base of today's look was this foundation right here from MER, $135. This video was not so much about the foundation as it was about my thought and feedback on the state of the luxury beauty community here on YouTube for people that look like me. So if you want to hear how I feel about this foundation as well as to hear this conversation we're having, then what you're gonna have to do is keep watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Happy Friday or Saturday. I still have not settled on which day I will do my weekly upload. It's looking more like Saturday. The last 2 weeks I did it on Saturday, so that's looking more like what it's going to be. Today's video, I am quite excited. We're going to be playing with luxury makeup. As you've already seen the thumbnail, we're playing with this right here. This is the MER Soft Fluid Long Wear Foundation Broad Spectrum SPF 20. Whilst I'm putting my makeup on today, I'm going to try to have a conversation with you guys about a trend I've noticed in the luxury beauty community, especially as it relates to people whose skin tone looks like mine. And I want you guys to give me your take and your feedback and what it is, if you've noticed this or if it's just me crazy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump right into it. My skin is already primed and ready to go. The foundation we're using does have SPF 20, but today's SPF, I use this one here. This is from Biossance. It is called Squalene Zinc Super Mineral Sunscreen, and this has broad spectrum SPF 30. UVA and UVB. The sunscreen that I like to use, the one from Lancome, when I went to link that in my last video, I noticed Lancome actually discontinued it. They have a new one. It costs even more than that one, so we'll have to see. But this is the one that I use. It is reasonably priced. It's from Biossance. Biossance is a clean skincare line, and that's the skincare that I've been using exclusively, I want to say now, for about 6 months. So guys, look out for a video on my new skincare routine featuring Biossance. My sunscreen is already on. I'm going to be priming my face with this primer right here. This is the hydrating primer from Fenty Beauty. This primer is one of my favorite primers. I hope you guys are all doing well. As I said, this is either going to be up on Saturday or Friday, but it's looking more like Saturday. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend and you had a wonderful work week. So now that my skin is already primed, let me get you some information on this foundation. This is what the foundation looks like. This is the MER Soft Fluid Long Wear Foundation with SPF 20. This looks like 26 or 27 shades. I believe it's 27 shades that this comes in, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. This foundation claims to be a weightless, natural looking foundation with buildable coverage for a luxurious long wear. The coverage is medium, the finish is natural, and of course, as you can see, it's a liquid foundation. This is for normal, dry, combo, and oily, so it's pretty much, they're saying it's for whatever your skin type is, you should be able to wear this. This silky, lightweight formula helps to maintain balance and provides buildable coverage. It leaves skin visibly plump with hydration. Fine lines and wrinkles look softer, and the look of pores and imperfections are diminished, and the UV protection defends the skin from future damage. This foundation stays true even in humidity. This foundation does retail for a whopping $135. By the time this video goes up, you have already seen my review of the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation. That foundation, as you might remember, is for a whopping $150. So I am diving straight into more luxury makeup. This shade here is 460 Sienna. It is described as being for deep skin with warm undertones. If you're not new here, you know I do have a warm golden undertone. So I think this shade is gonna be a good shade for me. Shake her up. And pump out a few pumps of this right onto my makeup tray. And that's what it looks like right there. I'm going to attempt to put this foundation on using this foundation brush from MER. This foundation brush is the most useless brush I have in my collection. I have no idea how MER designed this brush. I also have their powder brush that you guys have seen me use quite a bit, but I don't know how this was designed. And if I'm not mistaken, this brush cost, let me tell you what this brush cost. This is an expensive brush. MER is a very luxury line that carries both makeup and skin care. Let me see if I can find this brush. Okay, so this brush retails for $85. I just noticed it seems as if this brush costs more. Okay, so this one is $85. The foundation brush is $90. So their prices are all the way up there. So I'm gonna start dotting this on. I'm gonna try to go on with this foundation brush, but something tells me I'm gonna use another brush. So as I said, I wanted to talk to you guys whilst I'm doing this about something that I've noticed in the beauty community on YouTube that deals primarily with luxury makeup. Currently this foundation has 27 shades. I don't think the shade range is inclusive at all. I'm going to insert a clip either right here or right here of the layout of this on Sephora. Now what I've noticed with fellow beauty content creators here on YouTube that do luxury, so it's a nice match, that does luxury makeup reviews, especially when I'm talking about foundations. I noticed that for $135, people are buying two bottles with different shades to try and make it work. For $135 or $65, $70, I'm sorry, I'm not buying two shades to make it work. I'm not buying two different shades to make it work. If it was made for me, then they would have my shade in it. I believe by doing this, people who do luxury makeup content, I think they're doing their subscribers a disfavor. And not only are they doing their subscribers a disfavor, they're also not helping the brands like MER with this 27 shades to be more inclusive. There's been 2 shade expansions of this already. Every time when they expand the shade range, the price goes up. So at one point this was $120. Then we know everything has gone up this year because of inflation. You know, I think people are overusing that and coming up with an excuse to sell stuff for more, but that's a whole different video for another day. So as I was saying, with a foundation that costs $135, there's no reason why in 2022, it's 2022 or 2023? I legit don't know what year it is. Oh my God, 2022. I actually remember one of my cards expired next year. Okay, so we're in 2022, right? And I feel like there's no reason why a luxury brand cannot be more inclusive. This dries down more. It says soft focus, but it looks more like a matte foundation to me. But it is beautiful, and the shade is definitely my shade. Now, as I was saying, I feel like 27, 26 shades, that's not really being inclusive, especially when you look at the way the shades distribute. So in the darker, deeper shades, it's very, very limited. Most of the shades are geared towards people who don't look like me. Let me just put it like that. If you're creating luxury beauty content, I feel like part of the responsibility that you have as an influencer, as a content creator, is to say, yeah, it's a pretty foundation, but you didn't make it for me. There's no shade in this for me, and I'm not about to pay $260 something just so I can make a foundation work that apparently was not made for me. You can't expect your viewer to go out and buy 2 bottles of foundation to mix and make it work just because you want to say you have this luxury foundation. I kind of noticed where I feel like in the luxury community here on YouTube, whenever I say luxury going forward, I'm talking about luxury makeup. Content creators that create luxury makeup. So what I have noticed in the past, I want to say 6 months, as I've been following some of these content creators, especially the ones who look like me. So when I say look like me, I'm talking about black people. No other way for me to say I'm talking about black people, okay? I feel like creating content and demoing, reviewing luxury makeup has become like a status symbol. So it's like, look at me. Yes, this does cost $150. Yes, it costs $130. But guess what? I can afford it. Not only can I afford it, I can afford to. But can your viewers, can they afford to? I can tell you this foundation was given to me in PR to review. There is currently a brand that I reached out to, I won't say who the brand is, that I reached out to review their foundation. And they're very receptive, but when I looked at the shades, there isn't a shade for me. There isn't. If I put in all of my perfect shade matches and it's returning no shades, that now means I'm gonna have to figure out a way. This brush feels so weird. That now means I'm gonna have to try to figure out a way to make this work. And one thing I'm always conscious of, for the most part, I can't speak for anyone else, but I can only speak for myself. For the most part, foundations that I review are given to me to review. So I didn't spend any money on it. That's not to say if I like a luxury foundation, that's not to say I won't buy it. But I'm just saying, as for what I'm doing here on YouTube, most of my foundations, high-end luxury, they were gifted to me for review. There are ways and means that you can get brands to give you PR even as a small content creator. So I hardly buy my products, but I know the reason why the brand is giving it to me is so I can influence you to buy it. Now, is it reasonable for me to want you to buy 2 bottles of a foundation that sells for $135? I feel like Tom Ford's older foundations, they weren't inclusive. I think it was in 2019 when Tom Ford launched the Shade and Illuminate foundations. And that's 40 shades. That is really inclusive. I feel like just about everyone should be able to find their shade there. And the foundation is successful. If you look at the numbers on that foundation, it is selling. It says that, yes, people of dark skin, people that look like me, yeah, we're willing to buy it, but I'm not gonna expect you to buy 2. I just won't. If the shade range isn't there, I feel like as someone creating content, I feel like the feedback I should be giving them is real. I shouldn't be afraid to tell them, hey, this shade range, whilst there may be a shade for me, the shade range is lacking. Most of my foundations are medium deep, so I lean more on the deep side. If your deepest foundation is me, we have a problem. If there are only 2 or 3 shades after me, we still have a problem. There's so much skin tones that you're leaving out. Across the board, luxury and high-end, before Fenty Beauty, it was not normal to have an inclusive shade range. Post Fenty Beauty, that's just what we expect. And why aren't we holding luxury brands to the same standard? I believe sometimes, this is what I believe, my personal belief, I'm speaking for myself. I believe sometimes companies, not just in makeup, I believe sometimes companies deliberately price out a certain demographic. You're not expecting someone that looks like me to purchase this foundation. I'm not gonna go and purchase it when you didn't make it for me and put all this money in your pocket. A little bit of this foundation goes a long, long way. I'm going to lean more on the luxury side because I think the content creators, and this is no shade, no tea, I'm not talking about anyone specifically. I'm talking about content creators that looks like me, and I don't feel like you are representing and advocating for more inclusivity. Within the beauty community, there's a niche for everything. In YouTube in general, right? So whenever you watch how to start a YouTube channel, how to be successful on YouTube, one of the first things you're always told is to know who you're trying to attract. I feel like if you're trying to attract someone like me that loves luxury, then please do not come and show me nothing that you have 3-4 shades in. Another thing about those content creators that do luxury beauty, not just them, I've noticed this on a disturbing level with all of the foundations that launched this year. There seems to be a hesitancy to stick with what your shade is. So I've seen people put on shades that are my shade, and I'm like, but in this foundation here, so for example, in NARS, if you're New Caledonia in NARS, and I'm Macau, how is Sienna your shade in MER? Well, we went from embracing our melanated skin, regardless of how deep it was, we wore it with pride. It seems to me as if, in the luxury community especially, it seems to me as if a few steps, I've had enough of this brush. This brush cannot blend foundation. I've had it for a while and that's my first time using it. I'm gonna switch over to this. When did we go from proudly wanting to show our dark and melanated skin to, no, I want a foundation that it is clear to Stevie Wonder, the foundation is too light for me. You're spending so much money on something that just isn't gonna work for you, right? So I feel like in the luxury community, people aren't embracing their dark skin. Y'all already know. I don't care if it was gifted to me. I don't care if it's a luxury brand or not. The feedback I give is always going to be from what my experience on something is. This company reached out to me and they wanted me to review a few of their nail polish, gel nail polish, which is fine. As you guys know, I like to wear polish on my natural nails. I filmed the video a couple of days ago when I bulk filmed. It went really good. The polish looked really, really pretty. I liked it. Okay, cool. So in my video, I'm giving my feedback. They are nice. Nail polish, I would definitely recommend them if you want something that's gonna last a little bit longer than regular polish. So then I wake up the next morning and I notice the polish is peeling off. So I'm like, all right, we have a problem, because I filmed my video and I said that this is very pretty and I recommend it. So I reached out to the brand, took a picture, and I reached out to the brand and I'm like, the video went well, but to upload this video, I feel compelled to, whilst I'm editing, I feel compelled to say the next day, this nail polish left me. Let me know what you want me to do, because I could not upload it at all, or I can upload it and give the honest feedback. I haven't heard from them before yet. Tell me why they didn't, like, you can't, I feel like we're creating content. We can't create content just for ourselves. That doesn't make any sense, right? You're providing information to your audience. You're recommending and telling them how something performed and that you think that they're going to like it. So you have to be honest. I didn't pay for those nail polish. So okay, they walked off. But if I recommend it and you guys go and get it, you're paying for it. Now, how are you gonna feel when it walks off? Like I didn't tell you the truth. It's the same thing with wanting to make foundations, blushes, whatever it is that costs all of this money, as wanting to make it work. One second, so it's the same thing to me as saying, okay, La Mer has 27 shades. La Mer don't really have a shade for me, but the foundation is beautiful. As you can see, the foundation is beautiful. This foundation is beautiful. There's no hiding that. You can look at it and you can see that it's a beautiful foundation. But does that mean I'm gonna say to you, the shade range is inclusive? They sent me 2 shades for me to mix in my kitchen to make it work, and then expect you to go and spend $265 or $270 on foundation in this current economic environment? Never catch me wearing a foundation that is not my shade. You can tell everything about it looks wrong. You guys would not believe the amount of reviews I filmed, stop midway and be like, this is not working, this is not for me, and just let the brand know that didn't work out. I think we shouldn't only make wearing luxury makeup an experience, one that shows how well we're doing economically. Because the people that's coming to watch us, I don't think they really care about that. It's something that they're interested in, and they want to know, will it work for me? If you don't like fragrance, this foundation isn't for you. It is, yeah, it smells almost like perfume. It's not a bad smell, it's just that it has fragrance. Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't break me out. I'm one of those people who fragrance will break out. This is how much I have left. I want to say I did maybe 4 pumps. And the area I'm having the most problems covering up is right around here where we have hyperpigmentation. So we already know that's not gonna work. I'm gonna use a concealer to help me with that, so give me a sec. So to get a little bit more coverage right around here where we can see hyperpigmentation, I'm gonna go in with NARS. This is Cafe. Now you may say, all right, you just went in on that whole embracing your skin tone and shade not made for you, it's not covering, and you're making it work. That actually isn't the same. This is a medium coverage foundation, and I have hyperpigmentation. On almost every foundation that I use, I color correct. The fact that I have hyperpigmentation has nothing to do with the shade range. This looks pretty, but up close, I don't know if you can see it. I think you can. You see, and that wasn't dry, and I did prep my skin for a matte foundation. You see the clinginess right here? It's clinging right there. A better coverage because I did use that brush. Oh my God, that brush from the MER. Talk about purchasing something just because you wanna have it. That brush is not useful at all. I've had that brush, I want to say maybe 3-4 years, and I reviewed the brush on Beautylish. I did purchase that brush. When I reviewed it on Beautylish, I did say it's a useless brush. It's the brush that I have in my collection that I don't use at all. They did offer me to return the brush, and I just ended up never doing that. I wish I did. If you have dry skin, hydrate your skin very, very much for this, because right here isn't dry, and I did hydrate my skin. I did prep my skin like I was going to use a matte foundation, because where it says soft focus, I think I read that to me in soft matte. That's what I'm getting from this. The finish is more soft matte to me than it is natural. To highlight, contour, and conceal, I'm gonna use these right here. I just used these in a video, I think that's up now. I really actually do really love them, except for getting this out of the packaging, but I like this a lot. Sticking with our conversation about the trend that I noticed with people not embracing their melanated skin and instead wanting to use products that are clearly, you could see, that's clearly too light for you. I think that's unfortunate, because so much work and lobby and saying, hey, we want to use it here, but we're not this shade. Come on, give us some shades. So much work and lobbying went into that, and only now to have a foundation like a Makeup Forever where I think they have either 50 or 60 shades. I'll put the right amount on the screen, but to see them come out with that, and then for me to sit down and watch people, you have your shade in that foundation. Why are you not embracing the shade that is clearly for you? I've even said, well, I've said this before, and I stand by this. First up, I would never bleach my skin. I love my skin, and it took me a good while to get used to my complexion after my skin complexion got changed due to medication. It took me quite a while to get used to it. I feel like black is beautiful, and we do come in all shades and all of that. So embrace who you are. Embrace the beautiful skin that God gave to you. If you haven't tried this concealer and you're looking for a good full coverage concealer, but you don't want one that is going to suck all of the moisture out, which is kind of interesting because this is described as matte. The finish I got from it didn't give me matte vibes. The finish I got from it was very much hydrated. So I'm probably gonna fast forward or cut this out. I'm not doing anything new. It's the same thing I've done a million times. Right, I have my highlighted areas set. I use the same, these are what I use to conceal and contour. I use this shade here. This is shade 550 for contouring, and for concealing I use 500 and 460. Even though I went to only use 460, but it's too late by the time I realized I made that mistake, because you really don't need to use both of them. I'm gonna use this right here to set the rest of my face. I'm gonna bronze with you guys like I normally do. I took out this bronzer here to use. This is in the shade number, I think this is the deepest one. The shade number 5. I do think shade number 4 can work for me, but I like my bronzers to be really, really warm. So I did get that, the Dior bronzer that I used when I reviewed the Dior foundation. I did get that in the correct shade. I'd love to get you guys take on what we discussed, whether or not dark-skinned people in the luxury beauty community, if they are representing, looking kind of powdery right now. So I'm going to spray some of this on. Alright guys, so this is where I'm going to leave you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, do my eyes, my blush, then I'm going to come back and show you guys what it looks like. Alright guys, I am back, and this is the look that I came up with, which I am absolutely loving. I'm loving my looks lately. Alright, so let's talk about what I used to pull it together. So from Laura Mercier, I used this beautiful shade right here to blush. Pomegranate is the name of it. It is pretty. This is what it actually looks like in the pan. Hold on, I'm going to try to get you a shot. That's what it actually looks like in the pan. Very, very pretty, and I think it looks really nice on my deep skin. I did use this from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade number 4. I like to use this to buff my makeup in, just to make sure everything seems like everything melts in together. I like to do that with this. On my lips, I have Divine Rose paired with Chestnut from MAC. For highlight, I use Pat McGrath's Divine Rose. You guys know how much I absolutely love this. I like that iridescent liquid like shiftiness of it. So that's what I highlighted with. On my eyebrows, I use Marc Jacobs, Pat McGrath, and a palette from, I can't remember the name. I'll put the palette up on the screen so you can see what the palette is. I can't remember the name at all. So now let's talk about this. This again is the MER Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation with Broad Spectrum SPF. For 1 fluid ounce, it's $135. Now I absolutely love the shade that I have on, but as I said earlier in our conversation, if I'm the deepest shade, or there's maybe 2 or 3 more shades that's deeper than me, we have a problem. This foundation is stunning. I see why people like it, but I do think La Mer needs to be more inclusive and expand the shade range to at least 30, 35 at the very least. That way everyone is able to use it and no one needs to feel like they gotta buy 2 bottles of $135 foundation just to pull a look together. I mean, it's cute and all of that, but so just to like recap the conversation that we had earlier, I do feel like in the luxury beauty community, I feel like people who look like me are underrepresented, and those that are in that community, I feel as if they are too preoccupied trying to make things that were not made for us work, as opposed to pointing out, hey, the MER, we need to expand this. Instead of telling people to go and buy 2 shades, it costs $135. We need to expand this. Let's, the same way how high-end makeup has become inclusive, it is far past time that luxury makeup become more inclusive. I did tell y'all last year that I was going to be doing more luxury makeup, and that is exactly what I plan on doing. I'm never gonna sit here and just parrot whatever a brand wants me to parrot. My thoughts are my own. I got a brain, I can think for myself. I did say back then that I would try when possible to give an alternative. I found it very difficult trying to find alternatives to some of the luxury makeup that I have. I'm trying to think of what we can compare this to. I've seen this being compared a lot to Tom Ford, which really I would be very much interested in hearing your thoughts. What do you feel about the luxury community? And when I say luxury community, I'm talking about people who look like me. Do you feel like we are being represented well, or do you feel like it's become a status symbol so I can afford 5 shades and I'll just buy 5 shades to make it work? Now that we've been at the end of the video, we need to announce the next giveaway. So the Tom Ford video that I uploaded, that video was pre-filmed in, I want to say November or December, I'm not sure. So at the end of that video, no announcement was made for what the giveaway for that video will be. Please make sure you have your notification bell set to all. As soon as that video goes live, I will, in the community tab, I will say what the giveaway for that particular video is. I did say 4 giveaways for the month of April. However, it's looking like we're gonna run into May. I was unable to film for about a week in April because Crohn's decided to pay me a visit in my mouth. Crohn's can do that. So talking, eating, anything was very painful and I wasn't trying to do that. So this is gonna be our 3rd giveaway announcement. So the giveaway for this particular video here is this beautiful palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is a face and eye palette. They launched this 2021 holiday. I absolutely love this. I'll let you take a little peek inside mine. This is one of the rare Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes that I own that I actually like. I feel like this one here is very, very versatile, and I'm sure whoever the winner of this is, they will enjoy it. The rules for the giveaway have not changed. You must be a subscriber, like, and comment on the video. Best wishes to everyone. If you happen to not win, because it's only 4, right? So if you end up not winning any of these, do not be discouraged. Throughout this entire year, I have quite a few giveaways I'm going to be giving back to you guys for supporting me, because I really, 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 really do appreciate your support, and I just want to give back to you. Alright guys, we've reached the end of today's video. Before you leave though, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. If you're not yet a Bernie babe, go right ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is right there. Turn on your notification bell, set it to all. That way you will be notified every time I have any activities here on YouTube. As always guys, please be safe. Bye.